the Alumni Association in the class of 1942 reunion. I've been all around the town, had many ups and many downs, but I'm still here.
I'm about to be 90 in September, and I proudly tell people how old I am because I want them to get used to the idea that lots of older people are still around, and there'll be more and more of us, and that we do things.
In 1986, when a master's was required for the profession, a nurse practitioner, I then went to Fordham University and got a master's in education. And then got a second master's at 60 years old, and now I'm working on my PhD in nursing.
My mantra is, older persons are resources, not burdens.
What aging is the greatest success of public health. We need to think in a completely different way about this new generation of older adults.
What we also know about the aging of the population is that it is even more so accelerated in cities. And so if you look at those great maps that show you how the population is aging, you get the epicenters of the cities where you see the most rapid change.
The paradigm of age-friendly really speaks to the value of keeping these generations of older persons as healthy as they can be, as active as they can be, and the best way to do that is to make sure the environment is the most supportive of them continuing to live their lives in the active and engaged way that they want to live them.
I'm a happy New Yorker. I have disappointments and I have ups and downs like everyone else, but I think being here in the city, being a part of the city, being part of the important aspects of the city, like the New York Academy of Medicine and the Age-friendly Commission, only enhance my life.
The most exciting thing about Age-friendly New York City is that it's being led by seniors, that they're engaged and involved and at the table in the discussions and in the planning.
To begin, we went out and spoke to thousands of older adults across the city in all different neighborhoods to learn about the strengths and challenges of aging in New York.
One of the things that I would love to see is to time the traffic lights so pedestrians can cross the street.
We put together a findings report and we called it Findings on Purpose. We wanted to say, here's what people are saying, what can you do to try to address these problems?
Today, thanks to that research, we are poised to take the next critical step in making New York even more friendly to people of all ages. Working with our partners in the nonprofit and private sectors, we will begin implementing 59 new initiatives, and they directly respond to the feedback that we heard in our listening sessions.
So a couple of different things. One is we're drawing in the crosswalks and then changing the amount of time that the lights have so that there's a sufficient time for an older New Yorker who's not hustling as quick to be able to cross the street. So different things to just think about making the city and the streets more safe. This is an important thing not just for the purpose of mobility around the city, but also for creating social integration. So one thing we did, again working with the Academy, was to create a commission. The commission has both representatives, some from city government, but we really focused as well on having other organizations and institutions there so that the conversation wasn't just about what your government is doing for you, but what in your community could each of those organizations be doing to advance the work parallel to the efforts of government.
The Commission has developed 4 work groups based on what older adults told us they'd like to see changed. The first work group is Aging Improvement Districts. We have 3 Aging Improvement Districts, and we're working on more.
The Aging Improvement District is really about thinking about comprehensive programs and strategies that address seniors in a particular neighborhood. We've gathered here to celebrate the launch of the Bedford-Stuyvesant Aging Improvement District.
And I would like to see that the seniors are able to remain in Bedford-Stuyvesant and live a quality life.
Seeing the level of engagement from our local elected officials, community-based organizations, and our seniors, I think that growing old in this community is a positive thing.
One of the reasons that I love working on the issue of age-friendly is because I love working with the Academy of Medicine. Of course, if you're going to work at age-friendly, you have to love working with seniors, which I do. The Green Market is going to provide to every senior center on the west side fresh vegetables and fruits for the same price that you're getting frozen or canned. And we hope to be able to do the same for all the homebound meals. We hope to get free tickets to films and cultural opportunities. We're also bringing benches. And of course, we want the curb cuts to be safe.
There's a curb I can't get up on, so I have to go on the street.
My community, East Harlem in particular, has been the first aging improvement district in the city of New York. And that's thanks to the innovation and creativity of the New York Academy of Medicine that thought about how do we really bring these efforts local. Working with the Department of Parks, for instance, to create time for seniors so that they could exercise during the summer in particular when we have the pool season in place. Obviously the pools are extremely hectic, primarily with young people. And seniors sometimes felt that it wasn't a safe space for them to be able to use the pool and exercise. So we were able to carve out specific hours prior to the general pool opening hours just for seniors. And they came out in droves when those hours were made available and those days made available.
I think this is the best thing that they could have done for us senior citizens, because this way it gives us a chance to really enjoy our pool and enjoy how wonderful and beautiful it is.
Age-friendly business addresses how local retailers can make their businesses more hospitable to older adults.
I go to Joseph's Pharmacy because we could order it through our credit card and they deliver it for nothing. I need the help of a shopper because I cannot reach all the things.
Where do you like one?
Would you help me, please?
Hi, Kathy. How are you? Good. Good to see you.
The next step on the age-friendly businesses is now we developed a checklist working from what the seniors have told us about what makes an age-friendly business. So it's things like lighting, like having a place to sit, having certain products at certain places on shelves, having the fonts big enough so that people can read what's available. And we have over 1,000 businesses that have signed up to be age-friendly businesses.
The third work group is age-friendly schools, colleges, and universities.
With the signature of the mayor and the city council president, we went out to the presidents of over 100 of these institutions in the city of New York and asked them to tell us, how are they being age-friendly? Is it taking in students? Is it opening classrooms? Is it working with emeritus professors? And that information is pulled together and put online.
The fourth group focuses on increasing access to technology.
I just want to know where I go from here. It was identified that there's a gap in older persons using technology, using the internet to not only decrease their social isolation and engage them and help them access activities that are going on, but also to stay in touch with each other and with their families. And this is especially true for poorer people who may or may not have access to the technology, which is now happily being put in senior centers and libraries and other places, but you still have to know how to use it.
I'm in there, baby. I am in there.
The final phase of Age-friendly is really scaling it up. So you've done it in a few places, you've learned from what's happened there, you then, in a sense, replicate it in other communities.
Because of the success with the senior pool hours in East Harlem last summer, the Parks Department is expanding the program to all 5 boroughs this summer. This is a great example of a very low-cost initiative that will help seniors across the city.
We have a toolkit that helps leaders in communities really go through the steps that it takes to get the information from seniors in their neighborhood and then take that information and convert it into a program.
In addition to our work in New York City, NYM advises cities and leads forums around the world, from Dublin, Ireland, to Seoul, South Korea, to Sao Paulo, Brazil. In the U.S., we're working with cities coast to coast to help them become more age-friendly.
The beauty of age-friendly cities is that it doesn't exist without the voice of community members themselves, and the enthusiasm and energy that comes from that and the feeling that you're doing the right thing because it's what people have been asking for is very unique.
All it takes are leaders who listen to the older adults in their community and think creatively to make any city more age-friendly.